No matter where you are, there's probably a Speedway right around the corner. So whether you want a freshly brewed hot or iced coffee, fountain drink, or Speedy Freeze, Speedway's got the fuel to keep you going all summer. Sports have a way of bringing us all together. And at Sleeper, we developed a fantasy platform designed to make leagues more fun and personal. Sleeper includes an integrated chat and every feature you could want for your NFL, NBA, and even esport leagues. Plus, it's completely free with no ads. See why millions have made Sleeper the fastest-growing fantasy platform. Download Sleeper on the App Store or Google Play today.
This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BWB, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, this on the regular dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans. That's all it counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd, and here with me I have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, just here ready to talk about a loaded weekend quietly. Lots of big news as the wrestling world keeps spinning. Lots of just cool stuff. Cool things happen this weekend, so I'm chilling. What's up with you, man?
Not too much, man. I hang out with you over the weekend in person. I think this is the third time since the pandemic when we've actually been in the same, domicile or whatever, hanging out and watching Triplemania and seeing some of the happenings at Resurgence. I'm gonna say Revolution, and I was like. When I'm hanging out with my dog, that is cool and everything, and I'm just like, my dog asked me to come through, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not really feeling too good or whatever else, but, had a COVID test the other day, came back negative, and I've been vaccinated months ago, so I'm like, I'll come through, and, I forgot that, you and Catherine, y'all don't be playing with that AC. That AC blows cool, nice and cool the whole time. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, I ain't no bitch. I ain't gonna tell them to turn it up. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't no bitch. So I'm sitting there with the sniffles for a little bit, everything, and and then I woke up the next morning and oh my God, my face was so messed up. Bro.
Oh no,
bro! When I mean my face, I mean sinus pressure, just nothing but sinus pressure. I'm like, bro, I ain't felt this bad since when's the last time I had a sinus infection? All right. So I'm looking around. I'm taking Dayquil or whatever else, and it doesn't do anything. And I'm like, all right, let me get something for sinus pressure, man. I went to I think Walmart. Picked up some Sudafed for face congestion or whatever else. And I came back home, took it, and took my ass to sleep. I woke up, bro, and I feel like what sickness? What? So shout out to Johnson & Johnson for making Sudafed. I know y'all, your little, your vaccination, your one-shot dose ain't really getting that much hype or whatever else compared to the AstraZeneca and the Moderna and the Pfizer, but boy, when I say y'all know how to get that, get that off your boy, y'all got that off your boy. So shouts out to y'all. This show will not be happening if not for the good people of Johnson & Johnson. I tell you this right goddamn now. But I don't know how, obviously medicine gets better every single year, right?
Yeah.
I want to know where this was when I was in my teenage years, when I had like bronchitis or sinus infections or whatever else my whole life. Like once or twice a year, I would get this shit. If I had this shit, then bitch, I would have never missed no days of school. Thank God, this shit wasn't around when I was in school then.
You could have tried something else. You could have tried some of that Dr. Sebi life. You could have.
Not really, considering he died from fucking pneumonia.
Natural, holistic.
Yeah, real natural, real holistic. Look, bro, Dr. Sebi, if he had got him some of the Sudafed, he might still be with us right here to fucking right now.
So we gonna have to send you the NLE chopper instead. Then
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, okay.
He's on holistic medicine now too.
Like this man is like I'll send you some of this stuff, but he was a rapper, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah. And so he's doing all this like crazy. It sounds like that man just read too much Dr. Sebi, and he's doing all these like he's shilling these teas and these herbs and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh God! And he's spreading that misinformation too about the vaccine. So it's all lining up.
Well, speaking of Dr. Sebi, do we need to talk about him and what his thoughts were on HIV, or do we need to move on? That's good enough.
We can move on,
okay.
Sir.
Yeah, we can just move on. Yeah, man, like you said, big week. It's a week that was so big with the preview for the takeover in SummerSlam. Like, we're going to push that to a midweek preview. We're going to have one of our favorite guests, Tanya. She's going to be on from Suplexes and Shea Butter. So...
any questions y'all got for Tanya, y'all can send them to us in the Discord or drop a DM, and anything funny y'all want us to ask her on the program.
Yes, and we'll make sure to get those to her.
Yes.
We'll definitely make sure to get those to her on air. Yeah. So, like you said, man, between the Rampage, Dynamite, Triplemania, and catching up on the Stardom stuff, I think we got ourselves a solid, let's say 90 minutes, or 105 minutes or whatever else, and then later in the week we'll give you another the match. But like the 3-hour show, I don't think we're gonna give you that this week.
Not tonight.
Not this week. Not this week. Rich, where do you want to go first?
I kind of want to start with Rampage.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first episode of Rampage, they ended up pulling 740,000. My prediction was 780, but same demo prediction. I predicted 0.30, and they ended up getting 0.30, which is really awesome for Friday night, especially at 10 p.m. Next week, you would think it would be even higher because, the impending CM Punk United Center show. But yeah, this was like an incredible hour of television. Like, it was just like, so like, we know the rapid pace that a 2-hour AEW show moves at. This was like even compressed, like, and it was just like every time you turn around, there's a dope segment, a good match, or like an emotional moment, and a good angle or interview somewhere. And I really enjoyed it. And I was like, when it was done, I was like, fuck, like, I was like, let's go, pump this in the veins.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good show as well. It's just so funny to me watching this, and I'm like, big match, squash match, big match, 1-hour show, progressing what's going to happen until the next week, and just like, thank you, Vince McMahon. Thank you, Triple H. Thank you for showing us the way by watching all those NXTs, all them years, the 1-hour NXT shows, especially 2018 era. In late 2018, early 2019, to where we transition now, and like Dynamite gets to do that on fucking TNT after you decide to go to 2 hours and completely like make yourself look completely embarrass yourself by moving to 2 hours when you were basically doing what they were doing every fucking week for like every time I watched y'all. Congratulations, you played yourselves. So there you go. Like you said, felt like big time wrestling. One of the hottest crowds. I think this is the hottest crowd that AEW has had since they closed down for the pandemic in March of 2020. I think this was a hotter crowd than Double or Nothing. I love the crowd all night.
Do Do you think there's something to it being a Friday crowd rather than a Wednesday crowd? A lot of people were theorizing that because, like, feasibly it's a little bit later at night, so it's
later
10 o'clock.
At night.
People might be drinking by that time. They've already sat through 2 hours of the taping, and I don't know. Like, I think that's something to watch the weeks going forward.
That's something to think about, but like you said, once you mention the part where like they're doing the darks and stuff before, like, no, I don't care how drunk you get or how rowdy you are, or how carefree you are that you ain't got to drive or whatever else, send through 2 hours of anything to get to what you actually want is will still, you know, take some starch off of you. So the fact that they were that hot 2 hours later is still a testament to what this crowd thinks of and believes of out of AEW and how much they love Britt that night. So, you know, we'll see, as you said, we'll see how it goes, but like, just, you know, keep in mind, this is a town that when WWE comes through, they do not act like this at all.
Yeah, like I've been told for years that Pittsburgh was this ghost audience.
Yeah,
and,
like think about Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Tampa. There's a few cities that like on the WWE, you know, they go there and it's like the crowds, you know, and I think a lot of it. And I was talking to you about this over the week. Like, I think over the years the WWE has, because of, you know, problems with going back and forth with their booking with the crowd reaction, like they have like made it to where like the crowd is less effective, and also like they like to talk over the crowd all the time, so it minimizes like the volume of the crowd. But like with AEW, they had 4 people in the booth, and that shit didn't even matter. It didn't matter. They couldn't talk over nothing. That crowd was there.
I saw a lot of people complaining about the commentary, but like I kind of tune the commentary out if it's bothering me.
I didn't think the commentary was bad.
Like it seems like they were very cautious, aside from Jericho, who just, you know, he was in his wild Chris Jericho mode, but everyone was talking in like sound bites. Like Mark Henry like came off like more benign than I thought it would be, because I was like, oh man, this man's really about to be Kendrick Perkins out here. But
God.
But he's not exactly offering like groundbreaking analysis or anything, but he's just kind of happy to be there. He's kind of like, he felt like the Shivani of this. I didn't. Yeah. From he was a very positive from that perspective. It was Shivani like, and like I kind of like that as opposed to, you know, Ross going off of some shit he didn't like or whatever else. Like. I like a guy that's on comment, or a person on the commentary that kind of likes what they're actually doing and what they're actually watching. It kind of has an effect on your overall watching experience. Like, obviously, you know, there's some trade off when it comes to like, all right, do you like everything, or are you just gonna be a corporate stooge or whatever? But I feel like Shivani's striked up a nice balance. Honestly, what Mark Henry reminded me of was remember Percy Watson on NXT that used to run with Nigel and run with in Morrow, like before he left? Like, remember how he had eventually became good just sitting in the middle between how good Nigel was and Morrow was? Like, he seemed like that, but it was a 4-man booth instead of a 4-person booth instead of a 3-person booth. Like, I feel like, I haven't heard Big Show's commentary yet, so I don't know, but like, I feel like, you know, over time, if, you know, there's nobody... Well, I don't think there's anybody MFing him like Vince would be, but like I feel like, you know, with 3 people or 4 people, like he could say something without embarrassing himself, whatever else, sounds like he knows what the hell's going on, and get out of there. And like, you know, Taz's been doing this forever, and Taz always been great. So I kind of, you know, you have 2 people that are great at their jobs with Excalibur in Taz. You have Jericho, who can be great when he's dialed in the right frequency, and then you have Mark Henry there, who's all right. Like, I feel like over time with his booth, you know, I'm sure they'll have Jericho off some weeks or whatever else, but like, I feel like over time this 4-man booth will gel for a 4-man booth, whatever that means. Yeah, one other change, Dasha was the ring announcer instead of Justin Roberts, which is always welcome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, always welcome in my book. But so we might as well get to the show. But we opened up. It was Christian Cage against Kenny Omega for the Impact World Championship, and this was awesome. Big match feel immediately. I was fired up as soon as like the entrances happened. The crowd was like loving both guys until it was time to, you know, make the switch for everyone to start cheering for Christian, and it was just like was an excellent match. Like the work was like, you could tell Christian back in like 2018 was saying like he used to watch Kenny Omega matches and like pause them and like walk away because he would watch stuff Kenny did and he's like start having a match with him in his head and shit like that. So like the Kill Switch One Wing Angel spots, like I already knew that was going to be something like a staple there. This wasn't an easy this wasn't a given either that this happened, because back on Wednesday they had announced Christian like in this match for Friday, and it didn't seem like people were like thrilled about it. There were like light boos. People started chanting for CM Punk, so they had a tall task, and I think they nailed it. Like, this was awesome. I'm probably somewhere between 4 and 4.25 on it, and it was like so hot. One of the hottest TV matches of the year. I don't like remember the last Christian match that felt this great. And you know, this is just another check in the box for Kenny Omega, and the Christian versus Edge comeback. You want to start comparing those, is looking ugly.
Yeah. If you want to talk about the last great Christian, like the match last time the crowd went crazy for a Christian match, I mean, it have to be that Randy Orton stuff in the summer 2011. But yeah. I'm with you. I'm probably right at 4 flat. But the one thing that was encouraging about the match was like that clearly wasn't. They didn't give away their best stuff. You could tell they were saving whatever they had. So and also they didn't go that long. But yeah,
they had a lot of different goals to accomplish, and they hit all of them.
Yeah,
I know you wrote those down.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I'd be writing stuff down and saying stuff and forgetting it all the time. I'd be like, let me phrase it. I don't want to be like, yeah, I'll be giving y'all prophecy. Y'all just be like, y'all just lamed out. I don't be doing that, but like, I just think, okay, so, they had to get him over as a challenger for the pay-per-view because he wasn't quite there yet. Like the joint when he cut the promo last on Dynamite, we talked about, he called, I forgot who it was. He called him. I think he would call. Was it I almost called him Cyrus. What's Cyrus's?
Don Callis.
Yeah, Callis. Did he call? I think he called Callis a jagoff, and obviously in doing that in Pittsburgh, that'll get you. You know, that's the local insult pop.
Gotcha.
You know, he might need to pay ties
and ask him about that.
Yeah, he might need to pay ties to to Mick Foley for that one. That was a local pop. So did that. That got him over. They got the crowd off his back with the CM Punk chants. Had to get screwed with because you got to give him some adversity. He can't just come and just beat him. Had to protect Kenny Omega with the chair. So, and also he deserved it because his friends came in and fucking helped him cheat. So he ended up getting dropped on the chair like he deserved. He shouldn't have been cheating. And it makes you want to see another match because there clearly was a better match in them, between them, obviously. And it was a great match just on its own as a TV match. So I thought it, and Christian needed that win to get him over the top, as a proof that he actually can beat somebody. So like people say like, well, who does he beat? Well, he beat the fucking champion. He's the Impact / TNA champion. He has 2 belts. Like I don't, before that I thought maybe they actually do Christian over in some, and have him be the champion and go back and do a title versus title match or whatever else, and Kenny just wins him back. But I mean, we'll get to him when we get to it. But like that match is a lot. I'm looking to that match a lot more than I was before this match, that was good booking. Yeah. And it, like you said, it had to accomplish a lot, and I feel like they did that. And we'll see what they do the next, I think, 2-3 weeks out from their pay-per-view. But they're off to the races now.
Crowd's going crazy, and I think Christian has to actually get, like, people need to give Christian some props here because, like, from turning, like, the crowd during that promo Wednesday to doing this, like it going over like gangbusters in the building, and now he's going to make the trip to Impact next week and defend the belt, so he'll at least get a defense of that belt. So say if he drops it back, he did something with it.
Who is it against?
Brian Myers.
Okay.
So they'll do that, and like you said, the All Out match, looking forward to that a lot. I know people were upset that like this was a weird thing because I don't know why this has happened, but the perception is that it seems like Kenny Omega losing to Christian somehow interfered with the Hangman or something. I'm like, I don't see that personally, because because Kenny Omega hasn't lost in a long time, and I'm like, I don't know. I think it would be more beneficial for Hangman to be the one to put the bullet in the or put the nail in the coffin, rather than he beat him and he still has, you know, a bunch of belts and stuff like that. But I don't know, like what do you think of that, like, theory, like, or not theory, but like people say that it's been weakened or whatever.
I didn't think that Kenny Omega was some overwhelmingly unbeatable person. Like, that's the reason why he cheats in all his matches. Like, finish him isn't the hard part. Like, you just gotta get there and beat him. Like, the destination is beating him. It's not that he's some unconquerable mountain. Like, it's not like trying to beat. It's not like it's not like Kenny Omega trying to beat Okada. Mm-hmm. It wasn't that kind of thing. It's like the greatest champion ever. You got to beat that guy to win. It wasn't that at all. It was not even. They haven't even pretended it. He won the belt by fucking cheating. Like, what are we talking about? So, like, I think it's WWE logic, where it's like, well, if you're the top heel champion, that means that, like, you just got to get it. You just got to, if you're a babyface with any kind of hope, you just got to get it off and get him off. Otherwise, like, if you fail, then, like, people just just quit on you. And it's like, nah, man, that's a relationship from years of them cutting the rug, pulling the rug from under you and everybody you ever trusted and believed in ever, as opposed to this company. It's not the same thing. If they keep if they keep screwing over every babyface over time, over, like, let's say 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then yeah, you should start feeling the same way. But no, not now.
Yeah, I think the Hangman will be just fine whenever it's time for him to come back. I would not worry about that. The One Nation Radio Victory Lab is going to be absolutely incredible when we tell y'all, like, oh, like, when y'all are so happy, it's gonna be just glorious. Kenny dropping the Impact belts, awesome title reign. He went over to Impact and wrestled a lot of dudes not on his level. No shade to that roster, but, like, even Sami Callihan couldn't stop Kenny Omega from achieving high out here. Between him, Moose, Rich Swann, there was a couple other, he did a bunch of 6-man work over there, and I know some people were kind of like, they didn't like that he didn't drop it to someone from Impact. I mean, that's a fair point. They didn't, but they don't. Impact doesn't have the cards. Like, that's the game. Like, yeah. I think that, like, if they had somebody that, like, I don't feel like you can say Josh Alexander, right? He's a nice little wrestler. Like, he can have good matches. But he's not someone like Kenny Omega's not in charge of, like, making, like, he can do it, right? If we're like, hey, you make a guy in this match or whatever, and I'm sure Josh Alexander will be able to hold his own, but, like, that's not, it doesn't seem like that was being asked of Kenny Omega to, hey, make a star out of our company, please. Like, doesn't seem like that was the goal.
Yeah, and also, I'm not so sure that this is Kenny Omega's last run with this belt. Like, before this even happened, beforehand, I was like, I'm sure, like, I thought, like, all right, well, either they go to some type of draw, or they give the belts to Christian, and Omega wins him back, and he's another champion, then eventually he'll drop it to a Moose or somebody like that. So,
yeah, that could fully happen.
Yeah, so, I don't want to say watch it play out, but it's like, I was saying this before it even happened. So, like, yeah. I guess the only encouragement I can give to the listeners that, like, it's in the social media or the Social Suplex messenger when I pointed it out. But, like, we'll see how this goes. Like, if they just gave it to Chris for Christian to then job, and then, like, Omega didn't do it, then put him on Finesse of the Year, right?
That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, like, this wouldn't be the last title controversy for Kenny Omega this weekend, which we'll get to later on. But after that, we got a match between we got an interview. Mark Henry went backstage with Christian in the Jurassic Express. Orange Cassidy just hanging out in the back. Christian cuts a passionate promo, and it seems like Mark Henry was dapping up his old homeboy that he knew that achieved. And Christian basically said he's going to take all of Kenny's belts, but Kenny's the real deal. It's going to be nearly impossible to win the AEW title, but Christian is in Kenny's head. So after that, we had a video package with Miro and Fuego del Sol for Fuego. And it was just like a quick, like 2-minute thing saying Fuego's like deserves a contract, how hard he worked. Fuego's done like 40 jobs on Dark. So like he comes out, he's out first. Miro gets in. Fuego immediately hits the tornado DDT before the match. Then he hits it again once the match starts, but Miro rolls out to the floor. Miro gets in the count of 9. Third tornado DDT for a near fall. He tried to pin him again, but then Miro just caught him with the big kick, just fucking rolled him up with the game over and tapped him. Miro remains awesome in these squash matches, and Fuego loses once again. But sometimes when you lose, you win. And Sammy Guevara said it himself. So after the match, Fuego del Sol is laying out there through a commercial break, which is fucking hilarious. But then Tony Khan comes out and he has a clipboard in his hand, and Fuego kind of knows what happened or what's about to happen. This is a shoot. So they told him to just lay out there through the commercial break to get a standing ovation. But Sammy's music hits. Cuts promo, calls him his best friend, and Fuego, you can see his face through the mask, pretty much tearing up, knowing what's about to happen. They say Fuego del Sol is all elite. Crowd goes absolutely crazy. Twitter blows up. I'm sitting here getting emotional. Didn't cry, thought about it, but it was just very, very happy. Floyd said some really nice stuff about Fuego on All Things Elite, because I guess Floyd caught him in the Oklahoma Indies. In the Indies in Oklahoma, years ago, just seeing the grind he went through. This man was driving down to Jacksonville autumn weeks and during this pandemic, and then just seeing it pay off for him. And they did this thing that just all the fans would love, and did this. This guy got over and got rewarded, and it wouldn't always be like that everywhere else. He would just, you've seen him the last couple of weeks, whenever somebody needed some heat, they would beat up Fuego. You could have Malachi Black kick him in the face. You could have... And
get more heat from Malachi than Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Because, you can't do that to Fuego. Everybody loves Fuego. And then Andrade beats him up the other week. But this man's been on a long journey. He's only won one match ever in AEW, but he's always impressed. He's got skills, and he's this perfect, job guy. And maybe he'll get a shot to do something one day, but he's just someone everyone's invested in, everyone likes, and it's more goodwill building, I think, for as much as with Fuego, but with the fans. The fans feel like they have a voice, they helped get this dude there, but don't want to take away from his hard work. But all the stuff on the vlogs, he's gotten over big time.
Yeah. If wins and losses matter, then you're gonna have to have baby faces that eat a lot of shit and be at the bottom and still be somebody that goes out there and gets their asses kicked. And you talked about that you felt a sense of emotion came over you when he got signed, and you saw his face when he realized what was happening. And it was ain't no shame in that. It was I watching Stardom and watching at the beginning of 2019, and that's when Giant Size started, and watch her go out there and get fucking murdered by people like Shuri and Mayu and Jungle and whoever else just kicking her ass for finishes and stuff that just hey bro, let me record this and send it to y'all so y'all can see the kind of shit that that's happening out here on these house shows. So y'all seen her get murdered a million times, almost like Kenny from South Park. And to see her at the December pay-per-view last year in the opener, win the Futures belt, that was huge to see a jobber finally achieve something and that's the reason why wins and losses matter, and it's really cool is winning at a certain level can, like, if winning and loss, if wins and losses matter throughout the entire promotion, then winning at a certain level is an achievement. It's not that, like, okay, well, so...
And sometimes you can transcend winning or losing.
Right. So, like, everything's an achievement, everything's at scale, right? Like, if you're someone that's a prelim person and you finally win, like, a futures title, that's, you made it. You accomplished your dreams, or you accomplished your goal for that time, and the crowd sees it as, like, you busted your ass to get to a certain level. And that just happens throughout, all of this stuff. So it's like, it makes all the sense in the world that, like, people on Dark, he only won one match. I'm assuming that was against Peter Avalon. Or who was
he was in a tag match. He teamed with Marco Stunt. He pinned a dude named Ryzen.
Oh, okay. So okay. All right. So wait. When didn't Peter Avalon have a Owen everything match against somebody?
That was Avalon versus Cutler. That was like a 4-star match.
Oh, okay. So,
but Fuego had a long program with QT. Like, it started building on Sammy's vlog,
God.
And then QT, that was like, he kind of broke out the heel character for the first time. Like, it was acting like a dick to him. They had like a 3.5-star match on Dark, and on Dark, that's like a big deal. Like, so that was and everybody wanted him to beat QT to basically get signed, and then QT beat his ass at the end. But
So that basically what I'm just getting at is, like, happy for dude. Like, all of y'all like him that watch Dark, and obviously he's because of the Sammy stuff in the second BTE, the Sammy vlog. Like, he's kind of become, like, somebody that, like, I see every other week or whatever on some funny shit. So, like, yeah, man, happy for him. And, like, who came up with the line the other day? Like, where did they get luchadors from Alabama? So, like, happy for dude, and, like, we'll see what comes of it. Like, obviously, like, the Darks is where he'll be at. So, like, if you like, and I think that's the thing that's cool with wins and losses. Like, it becomes that sports thing, right? Where, like, you watch people grow over time. You see them achieve. You see them fail. You see them, run their heads to the wall and then eventually break through. As opposed to, oh, they're not breaking through in, like, the next 2 months. All right, well, I have no reason to believe in them, because, like, they don't believe in building babyface long term, or every time someone you get behind, like, just get killed off. So, like, it's really, like, this matters. Like, all of that stuff matters and adds up over time. And, like, him getting signed, even though he's lost a bunch, like, shows that, like, that dude goes out there and competes. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. So after that, we had a hype video for the Rampage from the United Center. And then we got, like, a split screen interview between Red Velvet and Britt Baker and Mark Henry. I like this. Right before the match, they were talking that shit to each other. Red Velvet was wearing the red, white, and blue, getting booed. Britt, obviously in our hometown, so they pretty much swap roles here. Like, Britt's a total babyface, pretty much. Red Velvet's, like, wrestling, like, more aggressively in this match. They come out, match is pretty cool. Like, Britt has that broken wrist, so she's kind of working around that, and Red Velvet is working the wrist.
She built towards working for her. Like, as the match as she gets more desperate, then she eventually starts taking advantage of the wrist.
Why aren't I doing this?
Yeah.
So I thought this was, anytime Red Velvet comes on the screen or gets in a big spot, like, she always, like, does well for herself, and she's not, like, the most experienced, but like we said a long time ago, like, she's a foundational piece. Like you're gonna be able to plug her anywhere, and eventually she'll get her time. But I like this because of the environment. Like Britt Baker's, like, a total superstar. Don't know, like, I know when it happened, right? But it's just like, I didn't know it would be at this level.
Yeah. The crowd and her overness completely carried the match. Were you surprised that, like, it seemed like Red Velvet was the person calling the match throughout the match?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I noticed that she was one, like, basically giving instruction or whatever else. But Yeah, layout of the match works all right until they start going to commercial break, and then like they bring up Rebel to start cheating and stuff, and it's like, well, she's the biggest babyface in the world. Why do you need to do that? Like, I feel like we're at a point now to where they need to cut the shit and just like she's a babyface now. Like, if you feel like, well, that's what got her over, therefore we need to continue to have her cheat, then it's like, so what are her opponents going to do then?
Yeah, I think this is why the post match. I think this is why Jamie Hayter is going to be here, and she's awesome. But like, if you introduce her as like very aggressive, she'll keep Britt heel long enough to either turn on her eventually or whatever. But Britt ended up getting the win after like a struggle with the broken wrist. Flipped it over.
Yeah.
To the left hand, the free hand, and did that. Like, did a lot of cool near falls at the end. So I'd probably said like 3.25 if I was in a very good mood. After the match, Statlander's ringside the whole time, jumps in after Britt keeps beating Red Velvet's ass, gives her the stomp on the belt just to let you know she's evil.
And the crowd's loving it. Like, when they threw out Rebel for cheating, the crowd booed vociferously, and I was like, why are y'all fighting this? Just let the crowd love her. Because they gonna do it regardless.
Yeah. Then Jamie Hayter came out, completely rebuilt physique and face and everything. Like, well, not surgery, but
blonde hair.
Like, yeah, different hair, and like, worked out so much it's changed her facial structure. She posted a photo immediately after, like, showing the guns, and she's the gun show out here. But yeah, she jumps on Statlander. She's probably going to be Britt's new heater. I think she's going to eventually start bullying. There's going to be some type of tension between Rebel and Jamie Hayter. Britt may not see it. She may see it. I'm projecting longer down the road, but Jamie Hayter, tell us about Jamie Hayter, or tell those that don't know about Jamie Hayter what she brings to the table.
Power wrestler. Well, at least speaking from Stardom, when she was like one of the biggest women on the roster, given that she's like 5'6" or whatever else. Like, power wrestler, throws lariats, forearms, suplexes, ushigoroshis, sliding D's, that kind of stuff. Runs the ropes very well for her size. Always looks athletic in the ring. And can put matches together pretty well. Work well with like pretty much one of those people that were in Stardom where like you see the guys and you see like the younger girls and you wonder like, all right, how are they going to catch up? And over time, she was one of those people where in tag match she's always busted her ass, which is saying something considering like Stardom is one of those go hard promotions where there's like 25, 26 people on the roster. There might be 3 people that don't bust their ass on every single night. So yeah. I given what I've seen of her, the little that I've seen of her in the UK, she's a very good promo. When she was in Stardom, cutting English promos, she was the only good, consistent English promo. B was not a good English promo. Neither was Toni Storm, but look where Toni Storm has done since she's came over stateside for NXT. So, there's like, she's already had that. So, as far as gets around the world, like, I'm glad she's in AEW. It's bittersweet because I thought she was always coming back to Stardom, and I always wanted to see her in a big spot, like, top of the card in a red belt, white belt match. It just never happened for her, but unfinished business. It is what it is, but she's gonna do very good or do very well in AEW. She's gonna be somewhere over time in the top of the card, barring something weird happening.
Tony Khan
in that division.
Keep up the good work. One less for NXT UK. So we also had Dynamite in Pittsburgh as well. This was the Warlow Jericho in the main event, but the opening match was the Elite Young Bucks, Kenny Omega against Dante Martin, Mike, and Matt Seidel. And this was awesome. Pretty much like any Elite 6-man lightning speed, and then Dante Martin decided, like, this was the Dante Martin show, the Dante Martin experience, the Dante Martin all-star special extravaganza, however you want to term this here. They gave him tons of near falls, and you know what this felt like to me? This felt like
somebody about to get eliminated from a Royal Rumble or sent to hell in a ladder match or something.
Not quite that.
Okay.
Like the main event of All In, I always kind of reference this when I see this happen. But
Bandito,
they knew, they knew, they was like, all right, Bandito, you getting pinned, so we about to make you look like a goddamn star. Like, we gonna do all your damn spots, and then we gonna beat you. So, but yeah, they did that for Dante Martin. Had the crowd going nuts. This is a young man who comes out there, drops a knee. This man puts his fist in the air like John Carlos. He's wearing an unmissable Black Lives Matter thing on his arm, and this man has arenas full of white people cheering him. Like, this is a superstar possibly in the making. And then when his brother comes back, like, hey, for real, he's 20. Dom Mysterio is 26 or whatever. I don't know, 24. Who knows? But yeah, really enjoyed this. They killed this man with. It was like the BTE, I forgot what they called it, the BTE V trigger or whatever at the end. Like, that was nuts. But yeah, this was awesome.
Yeah. Great match. Don't remember much of it, but you weren't supposed to remember so much of it because so much shit happened. But remember Dante Martin just basically like having like Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, what's your boy from Street Profits?
Montez Ford
hops throughout the match and then flips and whatever else. Like, yeah, man. Like, both of them, like Dante and Darius are both like are both awesome, but for the time being, it's on him, and like he shined. Like, while I've been like lamenting what has happened to our private party with them basically turning to like just standard heels, like I thought that the point of that was to get eventually for Top Flight to then be like the new private party and fill that role that we thought they were going to fill. And obviously with him hurt, like the other one has to stand up. And this is gonna, like, I feel like you give him a run of wins and give him like one big win on Dynamite, and he could be a title challenger on TV for Kenny, and they can go out there and rip it up, and Kenny can kind of have a similar match that he had with Jungle Boy. I feel like that's all in the making over the next 2 months potentially.
Yeah, he's got a match with Lee Moriarty on Dark this week. Lee Moriarty's I think he's debuted in PWG recently. He's one of the standout guys on the indies right now, so looking forward to seeing that. After they basically set up the Christian match, I already know what happened there. Then we got Darby Allin versus Daniel Garcia. This was went about 10 minutes. Crowd went apeshit for Darby Allin, of course. One man, you don't have to worry about him, cooling off or getting less over. So TK sees the chemistry between Darby Allin and Daniel Garcia from the 6-man. He likes that. He knows he's just like us. Books the match the next week. I always love Darby Allin TV matches. Love seeing the coffin drop. There was like an incredible. Actually, no, I'm thinking of the 6-man, but basically they also Excalibur told you that Daniel Garcia had done 6 matches in the last week, including a 60-minute draw with Wheeler Utah, and forgot what promotion. It was like some IWTV show, but it's another case of AEW acknowledging the wrestling world around us, which is welcome and a change from the norm that WWE has put out there.
And also giving him some bail if he loses and say that, like, yeah, like it went 10 minutes and Darby won because Darby's the better wrestler, but like, let's say he didn't go through the gauntlet to get to here. Maybe, like the idea that I like the idea that anybody can win at any time while watching a match, because that's kind of like sports. So, like, for me, that's cool to say that, like, look what this person has gone through a shit ton of matches. Like, oh, he lost. Look what he did, even though he's been worn out throughout the week. Like, that's cool.
Yep. After that, they basically set up the tag match with Darby and Sting. Going to be going against 2.0 next week. So the Sting's return to TNT, first time since he wrestled Ric Flair in the last Nitro. How excited are you about this, James?
I didn't even realize it because I forgot all those matches have been pay-per-view. I mean, obviously, you already know what's going to happen. They finna steamroll the fuck out of them. It's going to be fun. Like, that's all that matters. It'll be some stinger splashes. There's going to be some coffin drops. It's not going to last that long, but it's going to be fun.
I have enjoyed Sting so much this year. Like, every small thing he does, whether he's beating his chest in slow motion with Orange Cassidy, he's fighting Scorpio Sky a bunch of times, the cinematic match they did with him, the actual tag match that they did, just him and Darby, like, hanging out. Like, it just works. And, you don't even think of him as this old guy. Like, he's just like, because he looks the fucking same, essentially.
Because he has the paint.
Right, you can see little parts of, okay, he's a little older right there. The hairline might move back a little bit, but largely, this man is still Sting. This is still a superstar guy that's been a superstar for 30 years. So after that, they set up Penta, there was a Penta and Alex Abrahantes interview. Penta said he wants a match with Andrade, and then Pac said, "Nah, let me worry about that. Y'all focus on winning the tag team titles." Ding, ding, ding. So they set up Penta versus Pac versus Andrade at All Out, which should be pretty good. After that, we got Matt Hardy and Private Party. They defeated the New Best Friends trio, Wheeler Utah, Chuck Taylor, OC, and lots of shit happened in this match. I have no memory of it except the finish, like when Wheeler Utah got pinned.
I don't even remember who won.
Right.
Just something that happened.
Yo.
Look, y'all told me it happened. I'm sure it did. Sure.
Right. So after that,
they got Orange hanging out right now.
Yeah, Orange just chilling. After that, Jack Evans actually attacked Orange Cassidy. They did tons of shit. Like, so it was just like, if you remember, cool. But after that, we had Chris Statlander and Nyla Rose. This was short. Stat basically countered that attempted knee drop. Like, she rolled back while Nyla attempted that. She won with the 451 off the top rope, which was pretty cool. So Statlander showing that athleticism is there. And, as it leads to later in the week, this was to prep her jumping out on Britt, essentially. Looks like Statlander and Britt at All Out, if I had to take a guess, which is the match that they didn't get to have before Britt caught that initial injury, the broken leg.
Okay.
So out in the back, Young Bucks and Brandon Cutler, they were making fun of Adam Page being injured. They had the basketball hoop up. Nick said he was going to go for a layup, and then Luchasaurus comes out of nowhere and blocks him. Jungle Boy got the ball and did a layup, and Luchasaurus sets the screen and talking about not at my house. He's acting lazy to Dikembe Mutombo, and Nick is yelling that was a foul, which is funny. Yeah, it was just hilarious. Bucks being hams. But Red Velvet did a promo about Friday, of course. Britt Baker did an awesome interview here. She had like crazy jacket. Yeah, Britt's gear this week was like incredible. Like some of her best. Trying to think what we got next on that. After that, we heard the devil is and you knew it was Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson time, and they retained the Impact tag titles with a traditional heel finish, throwing the belt in the ring, referee looking one way, blah blah blah. But Stu Grayson did some crazy shit to start the match, of course, as he always does. Nothing really on this part.
I ain't got nothing for you.
Yeah, I ain't got to really shit else either. They did a Camille promo, which was like the best I've ever heard Camille like sound. Like
I didn't know she talked,
bro. Like her voice is like, it's usually like never that like coherent or like anything. Like it's like she's someone they should like just never let talk ever, like ever. Like
is that bad?
It's that bad. Because it doesn't line up. The voice doesn't sound right to match the human. Like there's a bunch of like elements in play.
Is she soft spoken?
I don't know. It's like it's weird.
All right.
But this was I think the peak of her ability. Like they probably like they had to chop this shit up like a million ways. So Tony Schiavone comes out and he's with QT. QT said that basically Tony had it mistaken. He was waiting for an apology, but it was like, nah, Schiavone was actually going to apologize. And Tony Schiavone's son is ringside. They bring him in. Nick Comoroto and Solo fuck him up, and QT punches him. They give him a diamond cutter, and then all of a sudden, Paul White comes out. So we got an excuse to hear the Big Show's new song, or excuse me, Paul White's new song. So I think it's the same dude that sung the other song. So it's like, I forgot how this one started.
I could have swore it started with a well and then moved on to some other shit.
It wasn't well. It was something else. I think it was something else. I'm not sure. I had to listen to it, but
okay.
It's the same vibe.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
So he basically
a white blues house.
Correct. White gets in there because he's Tony Schiavone's broadcast partner. He gives the choke slam to QT. Crowd goes nuts. Yeah, so I don't know if they'll do a match. Who knows? But people were speculating to have Anthony Ogogo return to fight him and knock him out with the punch versus punch deal. So,
God, I don't know what to do with that. Like, I don't know what to do with QT Marshall now that like this Cody thing's over with. I don't know what to do with any of that. Like, I don't know what to do with Nightmare Factory. Should they just be banished to the darks?
You can always beat them up. World needs disc diggers.
But I'm saying for Dark though. Like, but what about for Dynamite?
Well, they got to win on Dark.
To then get put on Dark or Dynamite to lose.
Right.
All right, fair enough.
Then they showed the turn where Joey Janela turned on Sonny Kiss from Dark.
And I was
Elevation.
like, what the fuck? When did this happen? Why did this happen?
Yeah, they've been teasing it for a while.
Oh, man.
So, I mean...
I had high hopes.
Yep, nothing for him there. Joey Janela, man... I hope this is something he can turn this into something, because it's looked bad for him for quite a while. Like, it's just like he hasn't like you would think he would be able to translate to, but it just hasn't come together for him.
I think that as AEW has done more hardcore matches and he's been in less of them, then like the need for him is kind of lower. Like, you want Joey Janela to do regular matches, or do you want him to do Cracker Barrel clashes? Mm-hmm. In coffin matches, like basically like he lost his spot to Darby. Not to say that he was ever going to get that spot that Darby had, but like being the person to be like the babyface, crazy daredevil. It went to Darby, and like he ain't never getting that spot, Jack. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I don't know. Maybe it's a clear path for him on the hillside. I don't know, but
that's what I was thinking, because like you've got your Jungle Boys, your Christian, Hangman, Mox.
And really, we're only talking about getting him into the mid card. That's really all we're talking about,
right? And like maybe he can sneak up, like, because there's like that heel side is packed with talent too. So
yeah,
maybe it's something he can wrestle some other opponents and feel fresher. At least.
The main thing is like, can he be like the gatekeeper to the US or not US the TNT title? Can he be the gatekeeper heel, to where you have to, if you're Jungle Boy, you have to go with him on TV for a couple months to get through him to eventually go challenge Miro, something like that. I think that's a good position for him.
Mm-hmm. So after that, we got Chris Jericho versus Wardlow. Big reaction for Jericho coming out. He immediately started the match with a code breaker. Wardlow kicked out at 1 because that shit is soft and don't work no more. And Jericho was shocked. And then we got not much after that. Wardlow pretty much dominated. Jericho looked winded. This wasn't his finest hour. I cracked up and howled at the finish, though. I like that. But I think Jericho's belt broke, and then that caused him to fall from the power bomb, and then Wardlow picked his ass up anyway. And tell us, James.
He's washed, man. He's done. There's a fork sticking out of Jericho's bag. He might be able. Let me phrase that. He might be able to put a big match together, but this 5 labors of Jericho has showcased to you that him as a person that wrestles like every single week on TV, he's done in this town doing this. Like, it's not there, man. Like, he is there for attraction matches, because he's still a great promo. He's still super over. People still view him as a legend, and I feel like this 5 labor thing is kind of overexposed him in the ring. And like we were talking about this even during like the back half of the back third of the or back 2/3 of the Orange Cassidy stuff. But like once they were able to get the Pinnacle versus Inner Circle stuff, he was able to be hidden because it's all faction stuff. And he's still perfectly fine in that regard. But as singles matches by himself, he can't get the job done more times than not anymore. He just can't. Yeah,
it's tough to see that, because Chris Jericho has literally been one of the great workers of our lifetime.
Yeah.
The last 25, 27 years, 30 years, pretty much. And he's, I think in the right situation, he's good. But the right situation is coming up less frequently.
Right.
So he's not going to be always in there with Kenny. He's not going to be in there with Mox. The top end of the card, I think he's finished as far as that would go. They have him with MJF, and we know MJF can do pretty much anything. Mm-hmm. I wonder if it's a sign that they're pulling him from pay-per-view, where who knows if it was ever on the pay-per-view, but they're doing it on TV here. And I'm interested to see if he gets the win over MJF now. I don't think he will. They've got him. They've got a weird stipulation. They're going to have no Judas next week, and then no Judas Effect. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but I really enjoyed the Nick Gage match. The Shawn Spears match I thought overachieved as well.
It did.
I forgot the third one.
Hoovy match wasn't his fault.
Third was Hoovy. Yeah. Third was the Hoovy match, and I thought parts of that were good, and the finish was exciting. Wardlow match just wasn't good. I don't put that on Wardlow at all. And then MJF. So I think he's wrestling for the storyline at this point. Like, if he can get a good match here, I think you got to call it a dub for him. But if it could all fall apart right here.
Yeah, I mean, either way, the crowd's into this regardless of whether or not the match quality, so it doesn't really matter. But just for me watching, just like Jericho got maybe like one title challenge in him, and after that, like, he needs to move on to like the commentary booth. Like, so, it was a 3-year contract. I think that runs out the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
Like, try and get one. If I were them, and we were talking about this before, like, you get him like one last match against Kenny, the rubber match, on pay-per-view. Get the buy rate out of that for the title. The role reverse. The roles are reversed now. Like, Jericho's the babyface. He those last legs. Might even want to make it a retirement match. However, depends how you want to do it. But like, get that one last match. Get that gate. And get the fuck out of here. Because you keep this up, we gonna start talking about him like he's Undertaker or Triple H. You keep this up.
Like it don't take much like to get into the Undertaker level. Especially
because once it goes, it's only gonna get worse and worse and worse, and then people gonna remember like, damn, bro, he been at this level for a minute now, and it's been, you can honestly say it's been like this for like 10 months now or something like that. So, unless he wants to like hop in the tags with Sammy or whatever else, cool. But as a single, I think we're done with singles.
Yeah, sobering. But yeah. So that was AEW pretty much, but another show this weekend, Triplemania. So this damn show, every year I make sure to watch Triplemania because, quite frankly, you never know what you're going to see, and we saw some shit that we didn't expect to see on this show. It wasn't the greatest show in the world. It was like mid-tier overall, I would say. I actually liked Triplemania last year a lot more. It was an empty building or whatever, but they did have fans this time, and it's the fucking Wild West, AAA. So let's just go through it here. So we started with the battle royal kind of. Mr. Iguana got the win over Drago, who looks like the Witchmaster. Look it up. Mrs. C's, Carta Brava, Aramis, Nino Hamburguesa, who freaking Mike from the Levitard show said that was his new favorite wrestler, I believe.
Hamburguesa?
Yes.
Of course. Are we gonna get a Hamburguesa versus world famous CB?
Who?
Cheeseburger.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's hamburger versus cheeseburger. The fuck? Like, no one started this match for me. There's no way no one started this match for me.
I didn't think of it, but creative mind right there.
I mean, not no one saw it. I mean, there's no way. No, I'm gonna rephrase that. There's no way that no one has thought of this match before me. Someone has thought of this before. Had to. Somebody has watched AAA and saw that, and then like, oh yeah, like big guy versus skinny guy. They both have the same name. They're both crowd favorites, doing comedy stuff or whatever else. Put them in a match, like somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, ROH is always linked with CMLL, so I don't know.
Good point. Never mind. The politics of Mexican wrestling. Thank you.
Yep. Mocha Coda, Pimpinella, Viano 3 Jr., Mamba, or Argenis, and it's called the Copa Bardal. So Mr. Iguana was awesome, but this shit was a struggle. This shit was hilarious.
They were not fucking around with them interests. It's like, once someone got into the ring, you had 45 seconds to get in, do your shit, and then time for the next person to come in. And I gotta say, I like this a lot more than how they handled that Stardom Battle Royal back in Budokan Hall in March, because they was out here, the interest music was out here waiting for the beat to build for Yoko Bito. It took like 50 seconds. The next thing you know, she comes out, she's halfway up the ramp, and then the next music's starting off. So they're doing it way better. I feel like the perfect way to do it is how Vince does the Rumble. But if there's alternative, it is AAA. Get in, get your shit, and then we're moving on quickly.
Right. And after that, we had Team Leonada America defeated Team Terra Purpura, and this was the Marvel match. Yeah, man, this was.
I don't know how. This is the second year in a row they've done one of these matches that I remember, and I still don't know how they don't get sued. They got Brian Cage dressed as Thanos. They got Vikingo dressed as Spider-Man.
People working twice on this show.
Yeah. People dressed up as Captain Marvel. People dressed up as Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman. There was a Captain America. Have you figured out who Captain America was yet, Rich?
Captain America.
That's what you thought was Daga. Finished. It might have been Daga.
Yeah, I'm not sure who it was.
Okay. Yeah, man. It's a fun little match.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I'm sure however many times Cage actually goes to Mexico, I guarantee you he loves it because like he gets to be like he always is big man because he is big man, but he also gets to be big and tall man when he goes to Mexico, and he gets to tower over people and just be hulking presence. And then also I forgot about it. They had on the babyface side, they had a run in babyface run in from the Incredible Hulk went face to face with Brian Cage, who's Thanos. I'm just thinking to myself like, I saw that movie. Thanos whooped Hulk's ass. Why are they going face to face and just staring each other off, and then it end up being 2-on-3 on the back end, while they face to face, and the baby faces won while cheating. Whatever. Mexican wrestling, they don't give a fuck. They don't care about none of that shit making sense. It's for you to make sense. It's really just to pop you. That's all it's for.
You figure it out. So question from Bruce. He says, if Vince ever saw the Lucha Libre Marvel Edition wrestlers and thought, hey, there's money to be made here, who would he mask up to play some of the roles of the heroes and villains? Well, I think he would bring Nikki, almost a superhero, in there. Seeing as how he's already doing that.
I mean, seeing that they did Stardust versus Stardust versus Neville in the superhero shit back then, like in 2016 or whatever else. Like they've done that before. They've tried it before. Yeah.
As far as people he would suit up, I think he would put Jackson Riker in there just because he's huge. I think, and I don't know all the characters and all that for the Marvel stuff, Bruce, but he'd be somebody that's big. Ricochet, he would definitely make Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, he's already been Spider-Man he's already dressed up as Spider-Man before for WWE. So.
Yeah, he's done the hero thing too. Yeah. Man, this is a lot more common than we think, apparently.
Well, I mean, you just got to put a mask on them.
Right. So who are some of the other Marvel characters? Like who would be low key, James?
Who would be low key?
You always bring him up.
An asshole. Let's see. Who would be a jerk that was a scrawny, skinny jerk? I mean, Seth Rollins would make a good Loki.
I was gonna offer Ziggler, but that works also.
Well, the dark hair is more the thing that makes me think of it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, there. Obviously, Roman Reigns would make a great Thor. Big, muscly, long hair. McIntyre would make a great Thor as well.
McIntyre already has his own weapon.
Yeah, that's true. Trying to think.
What kind of weapon did Thor have? It was a hammer.
Thor has
right?
a gigantic hammer.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give. I know the name of it is called, but I'm not even gonna get into it because be like, what the hell is Mjolnir? Doesn't matter. It's a gigantic hammer. It's a hammer.
So basically, the WWE version would be them just switching it up enough where Drew has a sword instead of a hammer.
I mean, or it could just be a gigantic mallet.
God damn it. Oh, man.
And then you talk about, well, that's not Marvel, but that's Image Comics. Like, the Fiend is just the Violator from Spawn.
Let's see. CM Punk will be Wolverine.
Yes, that people have been making that joke for a decade, or close to a decade now. Yeah.
Black Panther. He can be Cedric Alexander since he's dressed up as Black Panther before.
Yes, he has. And as has Mia Yim.
How about Professor X?
Okay, so any bald guy. Any bald white guy.
Baron Corbin?
No, well, seeing that he's British, I'm going to go ahead and say, Danny Burch.
That works. How about the Human Torch?
Johnny Storm.
Look, we can almost say Bray Wyatt for that one too, because they lit him on fire.
God damn it. I'm Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler would have made a great Johnny Storm. Peak Ziggler, like early 2010 Ziggler would have made an amazing Johnny Storm. Because like all you got to think of when you think of Johnny Storm, you think of like Maverick from Top Gun.
Captain America.
Ooh.
John Cena, right?
I guess. Yeah, sure. Why not?
How about the Hulk?
Oh, any Strowman. Yeah, say Strowman.
Strowman. How about...
Even though he's not with the company right now. But
yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know the rest. Jean Grey.
I mean, the only redhead that's in the company right now that I could think of would be Becky, right?
Yeah. I think so.
I mean, I'm not about to, well, what's the name has pink hair now? Eva Marie, so I'm not even going to do that. But yeah, I would, for lack of just, I would guess you have to go with Becky Lynch, even though she's not Brit, or the accent is different, but whatever.
I'll give you one more. Who is going to be the Silver Surfer and not Max B?
God damn it. Was this actually in the thing, or did you just pull this out your ass?
I just put up a list.
Oh, okay.
Silver Surfer on there.
Yeah, man. Silver Surfer's hard to... Silver Surfer, the way they explain it is, there is a planet-destroying type of god in the universe that comes and eats planets. The dude said, I will be your herald. I will work for you if you save my planet. And the god says, you will now be my person that goes out for the rest of eternity, that goes and surfs the galaxy and finds planets for me to eat. That is Silver Surfer. And he had his mind wiped along the way. But while making him his person to go survey the landscape of the world or the galaxy to find planets, he gives him part of his power, and the power is called power cosmic. So he can do all types of incredible things. I mean, I'm trying to think of someone that noble. I don't know, Xavier Woods.
Sure. Why not?
Make Xavier Woods Silver Surfer. Why not?
All right. Hopefully that answered your question, Bruce. So we had Deonna Purrazzo against Fabi Apache for the Reina de Reinas title. This was kind of a nothing match. Like, there was a lot of heel ref shenanigans here. Apparently the Apaches and the heel refs have had a rivalry for generations. So there's Tarantes and Tarantes Jr., who's the heel ref. Yes, they have juniors in the referees on you boys. But Fabi Apache was pretty aggressive in the match, as to be expected. Deonna Purrazzo kind of just showed up. I don't know if she really knew what was going on, but
she looked like she was clued into anything that was happening.
Yeah.
She went there in good faith with open mind, and they kept doing stuff that she was completely not clued in on, and she was just basically there to deal with the fallout. And I can't blame her for that, because she was a fish out of water, and she, like, that was their world. She was just trying to live in and trying to get in where she fit in, and she got the fuck out of there. And like, that's best you could ask for her at that situation, because they was doing a bunch of shit that was like, I don't know why they decided to bring Deonna Purrazzo in for that. Like, I thought we were coming in here for technical wrestling proficiency. That was not what happened. There's a bunch of shenanigans.
No. Up next, we had the AAA Tag Team Title match. Phoenix and Pentagon defeated Hijo del Vikingo, Laredo Kid, and Taurus, and Brian Cage, who was a mystery partner. This was a blast.
Yeah. Gotta say, like, for people that talk about lucha, and when it's bad, and it absolutely is. But when it's good, you can just shut your fucking mind off and watch the laser show and the fireworks, and that was a blast to watch. I like this a lot more than other people than what I saw other people giving it online. So this kind of surprised me. Like, I gave that shit 4.5, and I was like, I had a blast watching it. Just had a blast. They were great. And one thing I will say, that for people that did not like this show that much, I can understand, because the camera cuts on this show were like
atrocious.
Not even Kevin on his worst day has been this bad.
Yeah,
it was just saying something, because that's a dude that will
weird
cut
angles,
like 30 times in 30 seconds on a beatdown, on a stomping beatdown.
It's like they'll pull the camera out too far, they'll zoom it in too close, they'll cut the camera to the side, and then back to that straightaway angle they had where you had mentioned that it looked like they were just trying to get the sponsor in the camera shot. So it was just it was a difficult watch most of the night.
And it was not, and like, this is my third time watching, my third straight Triplemania. I never had this kind of issue with the camera direction before.
Yeah. But this was like, excuse me. This was goddamn insane. Phoenix and Pentagon keep their belts that they won back in 2019.
Yeah.
No one said a word about this, James.
No.
Which we'll get to later. So after that, we had La Empresa. So that's, or excuse me, before that, there was like a group that came from CMLL, which is called NGD. And apparently they are 3 of the 10 biggest stars in CMLL, all main eventers, all heels, all under 30, I believe. And they defected to AAA from CMLL. They main evented the Friday night show for CMLL last week. And they added on to the La Empresa, who apparently were already invaders from CMLL. So they're linking up on some NWO shit, and they took on Pagano, Murder Clown, and Chessman. And if that sounds familiar to you at all, Pagano and Chessman were the main event last year, and they beat the holy shit out of each other last year. So the whole thing was like, can these people get along that normally hate each other? And Murder Clown was in there. You know, this was like some of the sloppiest street fight action, just like what the fuck is happening here, mindless bullshit you'll ever see. Yeah. Just full of fuck shit.
I have nothing to add.
Yep. We'll get to the next match. Kenny Omega versus Andrade for the AAA Mega Championship. Man, I've been seeing a lot of. I guess we're on an island on this one, James. I really like this match.
I really liked it too. And the simple, basic story of the match is Kenny Omega does something in. Andrade follows it up by doing his basic like counterpart like move of it, like you hit me with V triggers, I hit you with double knees to the corner. You do a headlock takedown, I do a headlock takedown, and it kept progressing throughout the whole entire match. And like I thought that I really enjoyed the match, and I thought Andrade sold really well, worked from underneath for a good chunk of the match. And then all of a sudden, Ric Flair came out, who was his guest corner.
I totally forgot that.
Yeah, came out. Apparently, that's his first time ever like showing up in a Mexican show, or since like the 80s or something. And yeah, like he came out and he got in the ring when there were shenanigans were afoot, and him and Andrade threw took turns taking chops on Omega. And then Conan got in the ring, and Conan ended up getting put in a figure 4 while Andrade put by Ric Flair while Andrade put Omega in a figure 4. And then at the end, Omega ended up winning after with some nonsense with a belt shot or dropping Andrade on the belt with the one-wing angel. Yeah. And I thought it was a damn good match. I ended up giving it 4 flat stars or whatever. So I don't know. People, I saw a lot of people. Actually, no, I gave it 4.25. I take that back. And I saw people like they thought that this match was not that good. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I enjoyed it. I thought they told a good story. I thought the finish was lame, but if you hate the finish that much, I could see you knocking it down a peg. But I don't get people think this was a very good match at all. I don't get that at all.
Like if you have Ric Flair there, I think you have to use him. Just saying, like it's kind of been like the rule for like the last 45 years in wrestling. Like it's kind of the thing to do. But yeah, I thought this was. It felt.
Did they have a better match? Sure.
Yes, they definitely have a better match in them.
Yeah.
I think people wanted that 5-star match, and they didn't get that, and I get it.
But were they ever going to get it here?
Not with these elements in play. Like they had a whole entertainment portion of the match to work in, and I gotta say I can't really be that upset about it because like they showed us plenty of good wrestling. I thought. In the first half of the match, a lot of people were disagreeing. A lot of people saying it was slow. It was all this. I was like, I don't understand. Like,
I thought it was well paced compared to a normal match. Like if you're saying it's slow paced for Lucha, because like I mean a lot of the pacing in Lucha is big move, sell forever. Get up, big move, sell forever. So like I didn't think that it was that out of place. Like is it out of place compared to like the 3-way tag match in pacing? Yeah, sure, but it's like they built it like it was a title match.
Yeah, like it was like it felt like they were going longer than they went.
Yeah, maybe that was the part where like they wouldn't have the crescendo that you expected of like you know
the crazy finishing sequence.
Yeah, like and if that's the case, then sure. But it's like I mean, it doesn't like Kenny Omega doesn't really fucking do that anymore since he's turned heel. So it's like I don't see how that's that much different from like the Jungle Boy match or obviously it's not the Phoenix match. It's clearly not the Phoenix match. I'm not saying that, but it's like I thought this was in line with like his low 4-star title stuff he's done this year.
Yeah, and it's Andrade's best match by far since, and it made Andrade look like he's not like this liability who's coasting on his name anymore. Because there was a lot out there about Andrade about that because had a bad match. I think it was Laredo Kid somewhere. There was the Matt Sydal match which didn't light the world on fire. And
that's true.
He's been limited and like they've kept him like well protected. So between this and then Wrestling Pack, there's like no excuses. So yeah. I thought he came to wrestle like he was fine. He felt like I was watching the dude we knew.
Right.
So I don't know. I thought it was cool, and it was like 24 hours after the fucking Pittsburgh match. So Kenny had to get his ass on the plane to fucking Mexico to show up there and do that. So maybe it's the travel schedule was getting to him. But you know, I thought it was.
What city were they in?
I did not look that up. Hold on, let me see. They were in Mexico City, actually.
Well,
that's like deep into Mexico.
Not even that. Like the elevation.
Yeah.
Like that's like second out of a back-to-back in Denver or Utah.
Yeah.
That will eat your ass up. How's Kenny? 30 what?
37, I believe.
37. Like Kenny's a great athlete. He's not no damn NBA athlete. So, like whatever. Like I thought they had a great match. In like whatever. I enjoyed the shit out of the match. Did I think it was like their best? No. Do I think they have better matches in them? Yes, lots of them. I think we'll eventually get one and then people will relax. Yeah. Maybe I'm being too nice this week. I don't know.
So there was a story that broke that said originally Andrade was supposed to win the championship here, but AEW asked them to hold off on that for the time being. This apparently sent everyone into uproar. And by everyone, I mean the people that A, don't watch AAA, the ones that A, probably didn't watch the show, B, anytime Kenny Omega defends the AAA belt or when the Young Bucks won the tag team belts, like all the same stuff popped up. So a lot of this stuff is like low-hanging stuff that we can easily swat down that's put it out in bad faith.
But yeah, it's like, okay, so...
Like, you care more about the championships than the promotion or the fans do.
Well, it's really simple. If the title had changed hand, it would have moved off of an AEW guy to another AEW guy.
Yes.
Like, if your perspective is, you know, the political working of Kenny Omega and Tony Khan to run a sham or run a scam over the entire wrestling world as opposed to except for WWE, then I guess maybe sure. Or not, like if that's what you're looking for, if that's what you're looking to say, well, I just saw this man just, you know, he lost to Christian. Well, I guess you say it's another AEW guy, I don't know, but it's like the people he would be losing to would be AEW guys as well. So like, what are you saying? Like, is it only for Kenny or is it like all just Tony Khan's evil Machiavellian's plot? I don't know.
You know, Pentagon and Fiend has been AAA tag team champions.
AEW guys though, Rich.
Yeah,
AEW
longer.
Guys.
You know, longer than Kenny has had that belt, and I don't hear people about them needing to come off the belts.
Yeah. Let's see. So
I was happy because he keep going there because I still want to see the Vikingo match.
Right.
I want him to wrestle Psycho Clown.
I don't know about the Psycho Clown stuff, but like, you know more than I do. But like the Vikingo match is where is where I'm at. Yes, Vikingo definitely. Psycho Clown, maybe. So has there been a Pentagon match?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so those would be two I'll be looking forward to if they do them. But
yeah, man, like people got to stop when the Elite does it, it's bad. Like it's like I know they like, what would y'all do without them? Then y'all wouldn't have nobody to really like get upset with like this. Like, what is it, man? Like, just let the hate go, man. That's what I'm telling y'all to do. Y'all only hurting yourselves. Y'all only making your Twitter timeline miserable for 24 hours. Like, you could just like totally skip this and not care, just like AAA cares about the AAA mega title. Not at all. You could skip this, but this has to be a source of outrage. So I get it. I understand the grift.
I mean, I don't know. Like, what I thought Andrade was going to win, but he didn't. So I'm assuming that means he's going to beat Pac.
Yeah, I would think he's going to beat Pac. But yeah, after that we got the main event: Mask versus Hair, Psycho Loco Psycho Clown against Rey Scorpion. I was telling James, I was like, "There's no way in fuck Rey Scorpion is about to win," because Psycho Clown his dad just died, and he's not losing no fucking Mask versus Hair match to this old dude or whatever that's dressed like a cosplay member of the Shield. So I'll say this for Rey Scorpion, he pretty much took they got all the heat in the world on Psycho Clown. Like, if Hogan was a luchador in the 80s, this is how they would have done it. This man, Psycho Clown, comes out with his kids. He has a woman with him who I'm presumed is his wife or a significant other somehow. He's wearing his dad's Super Porky's jacket. And he's, they do like a ceremony for him. This dude, Rey Scorpion, says, fuck all that shit, blasts him over the head with a weapon, breaks up the ceremony. They're putting him through tables. They're fighting all over the building. They're bleeding. He's ripping the mask up. There's people with Rey Scorpion that are getting involved. There's a heel. Actually, no, there's no heel ref in this one. They had the woman that came out with Psycho Clown turn on him. It was just all the absurdness and wildness that you would expect in any AAA main event. Like the last 3 years, or there was 1 year, it was like a 4-way cage match, and then the last two had to wrestle, and then that person had to unmask. That match was fucking batshit insane too. That's like when I first started watching AAA, and it was like I think that was when Phantasma unmasked, and it was like all the heel referee shenanigans and all that bullshit. But Psycho Clown got turned on by his own woman, still persevered. This was fucking crazy, and I liked it by the end because it was just a fucking wild brawl spectacle.
It was, I don't know what the hell to say about this match. It was everything. It was everything, and good and bad. I will never watch this match again under any circumstance. Like, in fact, like, if you want to annoy me, you would like force me to watch it again. But like, it was a lot, a whole lot. I don't know if it was necessarily meant to be good, but it was a spectacle, as you said, and like nothing made sense. Nothing was meant to make sense. Everything was there just to pop you and overwhelm your sensory, your senses. And maybe for a lot of people, I'm sure it did, but for me, it didn't because I wasn't invested. Maybe if I was invested, it would have worked. But I was just sitting there like, this is ridiculous. Like, I even called the spot beforehand. Like, I called the spot where like the woman was going to turn on him, and I was like, yo, I can't believe she turned on him. Isn't that the mother of his kids? Like, but what I will say is this: the craziness of this guy with this evil, demented looking clown mask coming down to the ring with his two kids that look like minis, that they look like little baby Jokers with Big Joker, like the DC villain, Batman's nemesis, coming down to the ring, and then by the time they had won, or Psycho Clown had won the match, he has his half-torn mask. He's dancing in the ring. His kids are in the ring. They're dancing too. And I'm just like, this is absurd. And confetti's falling. And I'm just like, I don't get this, but like, this has to be like but it went on last, and like the crowd's happy, and like that's ultimately what wrestling's supposed to be about. Is like, so I was like, whatever. It succeeded, but like I can't give this a match. I don't know what the fuck to give this.
Bro, I had no idea.
I could give this shit 1.5 star and move on my day. But like, but that's not what it's for.
It wasn't the objective,
right? It wasn't a work rate match. It wasn't. No one's out here trying to sell passion and a hold and desperation. People just hit each other with shit. And mutilation and crazy shit happening.
Stabbing this man. He was stabbing this man in the head. Like,
yeah,
they were breaking open the lucha mask to bleed.
Yeah,
on you boys. But they ended up cutting Red Scorpion's hair, and
they botched it. They botched it at first. Like, they brought in, I believe, his like teenage daughter or your pre-teenage daughter to cut his hair, and she didn't know where to cut it. So then the ref then like lost his nerve and like tried to, because his hair is bunched up into like a top ponytail, and he went to try to just, because it's long hair, and he went to try to like use the cordless clippers to try to cut through that hair, and it's like, nah, you got to cut it down first, and they ended up getting caught. So then they had to go get a stronger pair of scissors to cut through it, and they basically cut this man's hair with scissors, didn't even shave it. I was like, whatever. And at the end of the match, they shook hands after going through all that. After he ran out his dad before they went to do this death match, and his wife turns on him, and his wife's halfway up the ramp. Just can't believe that she turned on Psycho Clown. And Psycho Clown still fucking won. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, like, did she turn to him because she's like, I'm tired of you living this life. You need to come home and help me raise these damn kids. And she's up the ramp the whole time for like 40 minutes making the same face like, I can't believe this fucker won and I screwed him. What are we gonna do when we get home now? Like, what is a home segment like? Like, do we need to, and then it's like myself like, this shit won't even matter by the time you do the next show because they just did this shit just to do it. So whatever. Yep. Like, Triplemania.
Absolutely nuts.
It's a spectacle.
Yes, it's nuts.
This is what I will say, right? If WWE put on a show like this, they would be fucking destroyed.
Oh yes.
Oh my god.
Yes. They'd be buried under the earth. Like AAA is like the crazier it gets, like the more you like it. Like that's for me at least. I have no
investment.
I have no expectations.
No expectation, no investment. Yep.
Like I watch the flips. I see the masks. I listen to Hugo Savinovich, Brutal, and then that's it. That's it. You know.
Yeah.
Low standards. You know. But bring that across the border, no. Then the guard goes up. You know. But
bro, can you imagine if that shit was on American cable?
Ooh,
we would tear that shit to bits. My goodness.
Yeah.
We would be saying all types of stuff that would just be like uncomfortable about how like this is what y'all do with y'all wrestling, and then like the rest, then we start take out the words talking about wrestling, and we're talking about like we would be making all types of assumptions. And it's like, nah, man, like nah, it's just a stupid wrestling show. It's fine.
Yeah. But I guess there's only one thing left to do, James.
What's that?
Hit the music.
So I see you switched up the cadence. So I don't know where exactly we start. So we watched the main events from the second weekend of the Grand Prix. So just to catch you up to speed, I guess I'll quickly go through the undercard stuff from that. Tam ended up beating Roaka. I ended up giving that 2.5 stars. Saki rolled up Julia. Good match, got better and a lot stronger towards the end. I ended up going 3.25. I see a lot of people gave it a 3.5, but that's where I'm keeping it. Utami Unagi their match was, I am giving it 3.5 stars. Unagi can be very good if she just gets the shit beat out of her and she basically fights from underneath, like very much like Yoshihashi. And then we saw that main event, Azumi versus Shuri. We gushed about that last week. The 8-8 show in Osaka as well. Mike ended up being Roka. I ended up giving that 2 2.25. Mina ended up being Saki. They ended up getting that 3 flat. Mina ended up winning with her the cribbed Milano Collection AT old roll up that she now uses. She calls it the Mina Collection or the Mina Collection AT or something like that. Then they did Kid versus Natsupoi, a preview for their high speed match that was scheduled to be, I think, this weekend before the shows got canceled. They had been talking about this before Natsupoi got hurt, before they brought Starlight Kid over to Oedo Tai. So they've been building this for a while. So it was like, all right, they had a match, good match, and then they end on a double count out from both of them in and out outside the ring. One's trying to get in the ring, and then like Oedo Tai tries to stop the Oedo Tai goons on the ringside, try to stop, and then Oedo Tai and Dom Del Mondo are fighting ringside, and then people are doing dives on each other off the apron, and then one tries to get in, the other one stops the other one tries to get in, the other one stops, and it gets a 20 count, double count out. And the real match, you actually get the finish whenever they have the match. Who knows what it will be, but I was furious when I saw this finish. I was like, this is what y'all do. Y'all couldn't just do a stupid DQ to get the fuck out of there. Oedo Tai, whatever. Then you had to get a points away, whatever, I don't know. So they both ended with 1 point for that. They deserve no points for that, but whatever. Then the main event is Kamatani versus Tam. We talked about that match and gushed about it last week. So that brings us up to the stuff we actually watched together before Triplemania started. So first match, Konami versus Unagi, and this match starts off with Unagi. I think this is playing off of their trios match, where they put 6 people from the blue block and separated them into a trios. So they had at Kurikan Hall, they had Konami, Shuri, and Unagi together versus, I believe it was Micah, Tam, and it might have been Kamatani. And the whole match is basically like Konami and Shuri with their bond. They're in the ring, and they do not want to let Unagi in the match. And Unagi's just this dumb baby face that's just too happy to be hanging out with these two ass kickers. And they annoy her, and she annoys them to where they basically beat her up and use her as a weapon to throw it into these people at times. So after that match, when they lost, because Unagi of course took that pin, they beat her up backstage when Unagi tried to get I've seen that video of them beating them up. You've seen it. So Unagi's trying to shake Konami's hand in this to start this match, and Konami doesn't want no parts, and she's just so insistent of sticking her hand out. And then eventually Konami says, I've had enough of you. You cost me a fucking match a couple weeks ago, and you're in here, you're insufferable. I don't want to shake your hand. You keep insisting I shake your hand. She literally ducked underneath her fucking hand that was extended and grabbed a fucking chokehold and immediately started the match. And I was like, I fucking howled. It's like, I fucking hate you. Why do you, like, you can see, like, it's just so funny. Like, I hate this woman. I'm disgusted by this woman. I hate that she even exists. I hate that she's in a fucking starter ring, and she's just trying to choke her the life out of her, and then she proceeds to just kick her in the face and kick the shit out of her throughout most of this match. And then Unagi's fighting from underneath, and she's fighting back at times, and by the end, like, Konami just slaps on a triangle lancer and taps her out after beating the shit out of her for like 80% of the match. And I thought it was hilarious. So I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I think I give it 3.25. I think you gave it 3.5, right?
Yeah. I liked it. I thought Unagi was awesome as a getting beat up,
fighting from underneath. Yeah, and it does show the progression from, because it was a way more competitive match than the match she had with Konami during the 7-match trial series back in February, because she was out here getting her ass whooped by Konami. She actually got some offense in this time, so she's getting better. She's still getting her ass. She's still getting the dog walked with her, but she's fighting back at least. So the main event from that, or sorry, not the main event, but the last Grand Prix match from that card is Micah versus Azumi. I really like this match. I rewatched it. In more or less the gist of the match is Azumi is trying to do the high speed stuff, it's not working, and she's trying to get to certain spots. We're trying to do suplexes, but Micah's power is just too much to deal with, and Micah is getting her on the ground. So Azumi starts saying like, I gotta work over her arms to get, to rings of Saturn and roll ups and try to take advantage of the speed to get momentum, and then ultimately Micah cuts her off and then drops her to Michinoku driver and gets the win. But before that were a lot of near falls where it looked like Azumi actually was going to get the W over Micah, but it didn't happen. But I really like the match. I'm going to give it on rewatch, I'm going to give it 3.5. I think that's where you were originally. Yeah. So
yeah.
Then we're moving on to the 8/13 Tokyo Cork and Hall show. There were undercard matches. I'm not going to get them. I'm just going to go straight with the 5-star stuff. Kid versus Def. Do you know watching
before
this?
You do, yeah. Before
go
you
ahead.
do that,
I know you're going to talk about. Let's get to it. The opening match. It's a four-way. It's four-way. It was Shuri versus Micah. No, sorry. Shuri versus Mina versus Lady C versus Hannon.
Yep. So it looks like they're about to do a 4-way lockup, and then Mina Shirakawa ducks out the way, basically do her pose, fresh off the Dansar Kuduro. I started tweeting about this, and apparently other people agreed that that's clearly what's going on. A TNA level ripoff of the song. Someone replied to me. But then Shuri taps her like, hey, I can do what you're doing here. So Shuri mocks Mina and gets down and starts, gyrating and shaking and shit. And I was just fucking dying laughing.
Look, you can see me on camera. You see that I got the mic muted. You see that I'm taking a drink of water. Don't say shit that's gonna make me spit on my laptop and ruin the equipment. We're trying to record this podcast. What are you doing? We've done this too many years for you to not know what you were doing. You wanted me to ruin my damn laptop, Rich. Okay, yeah, man. Yeah,
bro. I saw that shit at I was watching that shit at 8 in the morning. I woke right up, bro. I didn't know. I didn't know Shuri was I'll do the sexy stuff too. Mina, it ain't no thing. The studio gimmick.
Yeah, like I said, I've said to you before. You haven't seen much of it because that's not really what she has shown in Stardom. But in other places, she has great comedic timing, bro. She's hilarious. She is a true professional Shuri. She's better than even you think she is. She has more rage than you think she does.
I think she's my favorite women's wrestler.
She's not mine, but she's high on the fucking list.
Yeah,
she's way high on the list.
Amazing.
Yeah. But this match actually would end up being pretty good for an opener match. Had Hannah in there, get her thing. They are doing their stuff, and at the end, I think Mina ends up throwing Shuri out the ring when she has the match won, and she ends up rolling up Lady C with her Milano Collection AT finish, and then she stunned in front of Shuri, and Shuri made his face like, "You won!" I can't believe it. Yeah. Shuri has a great shot face. She's great with facial expression. So yeah, okay. What was the second match? The second match was a tag match. I don't remember who was in. Oh, I know what it was. It was Azumi, and no, I'm sorry. It was Rina and somebody from Oedo Tai versus Utami and Hina. But whatever. I don't even remember the match. It's going through my mind. But yeah, let's get to the third match. The first match of the Grand Prix. Starlight Kid versus Fukigen Death. Solid match. I ended up giving 3 flat stars. High speed stuff. Didn't go too long. Obviously, they're teasing stuff where they're both in the same faction, so they're getting each other's trust and then betraying each other throughout the match and taking shortcuts and corners on each other. Ultimately, Starlight Kid ends up getting the win.
This was fun. This was I feel like I'm seeing the ring generalship of Starlight Kid, just like ultimate control over one's like movements. And Death, I would love to see Death like just plopped on national television in America.
She'd get over.
Look, and then see people react to her like hold on, like it don't feel like she should be doing this. Like
the best part is, right, like, and it's funny, like, because so Meltzer in 2019 was the first time he had went to a Stardom show in person or whatever else, when he was going to, because this is when he went to the Wrestle Kingdom that year. And he went to one of those Shinkiba first ring shows, and he was just like, obviously, like, the roster is a lot more experienced and better now and older, but like he didn't realize that like this is a house show. Like, you're not going to see some blow away, kick ass, beat the fuck out of you Joshi, like, in the ring. Like, you're going to see some comedy. You're going to see, like, at that point in time, like, okay, so Azumi turns 19 this year. Like, Azumi was like 16 or 15. No, she was 16 at the time, right? Starlight Kid was 16 turning 17, right? So he's seeing, like, you know, girls that are now 16 that would have been at the time like 13 on these cards, right? It's like there's been an evolution, obviously, and obviously the way they're handling stuff, like they're trying to give more big matches away and trying to they're going harder than they were before. But it's like you're watching like the first match, the first show of the year on a house show. It's cold as fuck, and there's no AC, there's no central heating in that building, whatever. So, I remember him saying that, like, he thought Fukigen Death sucked.
Yeah.
And I was like, that means you ain't really seen her. You only seen her do the stupid comedy stuff. It's like, nah, man. Like, she gets in here with a Starlight, with any other speedster, and, like, she will go quickly give you a 3 3/4 star match in, like, 7 minutes, and you'll be, and knowing how he likes his wrestling, he would give it 4 stars. So, it's just funny to me. So, but yeah, so, but as far as in America, I think she would get over on some like Emi Sakura-ism type shit, where it's just like, it's comedy, it is not some hard hitting stuff, but it's flashy and it's fast and like it keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it you know, they're kind of ahead of you as far as what you think is going to your expectations and subverting expectations. So yeah, I think her in the high speed match would work out gangbusters. Any of the high speeds from Stardom would work out gangbusters. But yeah, so yeah, I think that would work. But you know, I think Emmy got that trap locked up for now. So I don't think it's ever gonna get over. You know, she also Def, she runs her own promotion, that YMZ stuff, or promotion herself, but it's small, and I've never seen any of it. Actually, I've seen one match. It was during the Kagetsu retirement tour, but that was it. That's the only thing I've ever seen out of it. So I don't know if that's a fair assessment. But anyway, moving on. Kamitani versus Konami. Really enjoyed this match. Konami just came out and said, like, all of your flippy floppy stuff, nope, not doing it. Just gonna, like, we're gonna try and make you wrestle. And ultimately, obviously, Kamitani is gonna break free, but like I feel like the marriage of both their styles worked pretty well for this match, even though it went kind of short. I ended up giving 3 3/4, but I think the match only went like 7 minutes, something like that. Like, but I thought they worked really well together. And like, after she escaped the first triangle lance, I was like, oh, she's going to hit the Flash Rana and get the win. And sure enough, she ended up catching her, and like that's her thing now.
It's funny, like you can just look at like their gear, and it's like reflective of their styles. And like Konami's wearing all black like a goon, and she's like, you know, just real by the basics, like
submission striker.
Yeah, real proficient technically, and Kamitani is like all the flash, got whatever you want, pretty much. Like, yeah.
Yes. Next match after that, Tam versus Micah. Now, Tam, ever since the second night of the Grand Prix, has been selling this injury from when Konami wrapped her arm in a chair, her right arm in a chair, and posted the arm elbow first and then Pillmanize the elbow. So all of her matches have been throughout it just selling. Like, she's on her full Ishii mode, just sell the injury throughout the whole tournament. And as it's gone, she's done a better job selling it, and obviously, like, she's had to make less compromises with her selling to make it work. And I feel like this match was, I love this match. Like, there are times when Mike is just overpowering, and Tam is trying to get her kicks off, or she's trying to, like, you know, get a suplex, and she doesn't have the strength because of her arm, and then, like, can't get the suplex. All right, let me try to get wrist control. And then the finish came actually on Mike, or her trying to get wrist control to get off a black mass kick, and Mike, after she gets out of that gets that wrist control, or gets spun out for the ripcord black mass, she breaks that arm, that hold free from that bad arm, and then, like, goes to just, like, clobber her with a clothesline, and then, like, Tam just literally picks it out the sky, that lariat, and then rolls through in a cartwheel into, like, what she normally would turn into a transition to, like, an armbar on the floor, except she turns into a cover and gets the flash cradle pin, and after she was more or less, like, probably was in control for, like, 35% of the match. They have a way better match in them, but for 7 minutes, I thought they killed it. I ended up giving this match 3.5. I like, Tam's really good at the tournament stuff. She has displayed that for the last 2 years when I've been watching her. But, like, she's really good at laying out what she wants to do, given the time constraints, whatever. She has, like, pretty much the perfect match for the time she's giving and the slot she is on the card. Like, I really thought Micah was finna drop her on her head and get the W and get a title defense, but nope, Tam ended up stealing one.
I had some absurd Tam comparison this week lined up, but I don't remember what it is. If I think of it throughout the week, I will let you know, but it's, you know, it'll be your new my
new go-to from last week when you said that she is like Tanahashi.
Yes.
Okay. that one was like, whoa. Okay. So yeah. Then the semi-main event, Mayu versus Natsupoi. This match was impressive for the fact that, like, it went 10 minutes flat almost. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't think they were particularly on their game, but the layout of the match was so crazy, and the finish was so awesome playing off of, like, Natsupoi won that second match against, or won in night 2 against Momo with that step up, electric chair, spin off, roll down, cover on Momo. That she does it, she gets to electric chair position, step up, electric chair position on Mayu. Mayu basically throws her down, and then just as fast she threw her down, lifted her right back up into that second stage dragon suplex position, and dropped her right on her neck and pinned her. I was like, God damn. They clearly have a better match in them, but, like, those two are so good, and, like, that's their first match ever with each other in a singles match, and it's like, this one, if they ever have a big match setting, it's going to go to fuck off more than just 4 stars, but this is 4 stars in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I like this match too. I like their high speed. Like, every time. This was it. Actually, no, it wasn't. I said this to you the other day. Mm-hmm. Like, when Mayu does high speed stuff, it's like Okada doing the dive over the ropes at the Dome or something at this point. But they I like when she dips into the high speed bag just to show y'all what she used to do. And ever since Natsupoi's match with Azumi, I've enjoyed her quite a bit. And this was like, you know, I never really thought about this combo before with Natsupoi and Mayu, but there was a near fall that I bid on for Natsupoi.
Was it on the roll through for, like, the multiple rolls after a Lamais roll?
I think so.
Okay.
And I was like, are we about to see an upset here? Because, like, you know, we have seen upsets already so far. I was absolutely shocked the other week when Azumi beat Shuri. Yeah. So I wasn't sure. But, this was very good also.
Yeah. In the main event, you did not see this, but I would suggest you go back and see it. This one, like 14 minutes, I also gave this 4 stars. Kaguma versus Julia. A lot of this is playing on their match in their tag match from the last pay-per-view, or not the last pay-per-view, from the January or July. Let me start over. A lot of this is playing off of their interactions building towards their 4th of July pay-per-view match, where it was Shuri and Julia defending the tag titles versus Mayu and Kaguma. There's a lot left unresolved from their beef. Basically, Julia got rolled up by Kaguma on a Cork and Hall leading up to it, and that led to that title match. And then it was really heated between those two during that tag match, and then they were in the same block. And then I was looking at this card, and it was like, all right, so I'm assuming Tam versus Micah or Mayu and Natsupoi is going to main event. And I saw that Julia and Kaguma were main event. I was like, why the fuck is that main eventing? Because obviously Kaguma is good, but she is still behind because she's been away for a minute. Kaguma translates to bear in Japanese.
I did not.
Yeah, so that's because bear ears. When she does her pose, those are bear ears. So, but anyway, she Rich was doing the Kaguma pose, and it's like, because she's so wholesome and adorable when she does the bear ears or whatever else, her pose. But anyway, seeing her all adorable next to that ruffian, that thug, that bully in Julia, and obviously is just naturally there, the tension between them two, and it went off. There was a moment where towards the end where Koguma just keeps hitting these high angle rolling German suplexes on Julia, and then set up for her big one where she basically catches you, have you wrapped around the waist, basically by wrapped around the opponent's waist, where she has you super high, basically up on her chest, and just lifts. It looks like she's about to drop you on the back of your head, but it ends up just being her finish, and she kicked out. And then they did everything. They pulled out all the tricks for this match. It reminded me a lot of the white belt defense that Julia had against Starlight Kid in February. Is not as good as that, but just as far as she's faced somebody that she's going to win, but she's going to do everything in her power to make you think that she can win this match by giving her every near fall under the book, and then eventually she's going to win. And you just think of when people talk about Julia and her push, whatever else, you can't say she's not giving, because she gave her a whole lot. And she bumping her ass off, and that's one thing I always like about Julia, is that she'll wear an ass whoop in a heartbeat to get over a match. So yeah, really good match. 13 minutes, 14 minutes, and it's on par with the main events that we were talking about last week with the Azumi and the Shuri and the Tam and the Kamatani match. We're just this is 13 or 14 minutes, and there's nothing you would take or change in this match. It's a perfect sub 15-minute match. So yeah,
I remembered what my comparison was.
Okay, Tam is what?
So it's not necessarily about Tam; it's about the group. Did you catch the post match of the Unagi versus? I don't remember her name. It was Mai something.
Mai Surukai.
Okay. Yes, I watched that
Mai
match.
Surukai, she is from Actress Girls. This is just straight plunder from Stardom to Actress Girls. Tam's originally from Actress Girls. Natsupoi's originally from Actress Girl before she went to Tokyo Joshi Pro, before she ended up at Stardom. Himeka's from Actress Girls. Whatever they doing over there, they doing pretty well, because Stardom keeps picking these motherfuckers off. So yeah, she only has 20 career matches or something like that. So she decided to transfer over, and then they had a future Stardom match on the undercard of this particular show we're talking about, actually. Yeah.
Yep. So
not a good match.
It was a struggle. At times, they were struggling with some of the reversals of the Irish whips, and it looked like Unagi was the seasoned veteran in there compared to Mai. But after the match was quite hilarious, because Unagi basically was you decided to come over here and all this other shit, and then Mai was like, please let me join Cosmic Angels.
Yes.
And she was like, well, we've kind of done well by ourselves, and then fuck that, essentially. But then Tam gets in and she's pretty much asked her, "Are you willing to fight and die and never give up for this shit?" And then it looked
she didn't say die, but sure, yes,
yeah, will you die for me? And she basically Maya cut her wrists open, and then they swapped blood,
a blood oath.
Yeah, and then they were standing up there. And I was like, "Oh, so she allowed her to join Cosmic Angels," and I was like, "Oh, so Cosmic Angels, four horsemen out here,
Oh my god, the 4 horsemen.
Tam Nakano, just like Ric Flair,
This is Rich Lada's words, not mine. Not. So my takeaway from that was, I thought that she was going to end up in Cosmic Angels. It's kind of a thing like when Mina came in October, they had a match with Tam and Mina, and Tam dropped Mina and said, "Hey, I like you. Come join me in Stars." Tam been bringing people into Stars for forever, but that the 5th time she did that was when it was a problem. They had to break up, but whatever. So Unagi, she beats Mai, and then Mai says, "I want in." And before that, Unagi was like, "Hey, it's gonna be a rough road." Like, and trust me, she knows it firsthand. Like, she was getting her ass whooped for forever, and it's like, it's gonna be a rough road, and it's gonna feel lonely, it's gonna be painful, but the journey is worth it, and good luck. And she's like, "Well, I want to join Cosmic Angels," and then you can see Tam and Mina like at ringside, kind of like, "You trying to get a cut of this money? You're trying to get a cut. You're trying to get a cut of this government mint that we made off of selling all this merch and all of these photo books." So you can see that, and then like Unagi's like, I don't know about all that. Like, us three, we've paved the road for ourselves. And then Tam was like, Tam's super positive. Like, "Look, are you willing to sacrifice and go through the ups and downs and the bumps and bruises?" And more or less like, "Are you willing to be our pin eater? Are you willing to come out here and get your ass whooped for Cosmic Angels? Are you willing to whoop your ass? Yes. She didn't say it, but are you willing to do all this? And she's like, yes. She's like, "Well, welcome aboard, and we're gonna chase our dreams together." And that's been a big thing about Tam and Cosmic Angels is like, even dating back to Tam and Arisa when they teamed together for Dream Shine and won that tag league in 2019 was like, we had our beef, but let's like try to chase. Let's find a dream and let's chase it together. And then Cosmic Angels was like, "You're gonna want to make a way to Stardom. I want to be at the top of Stardom. You want to make it here and belong. Let's chase these dreams." And like when Unagi and Mina were fighting each other over the Futures belt a couple months ago, it was like, don't let. It's like, look, I understand that each other's way for your dreams, but ultimately, like at the end of this, like somebody's gonna have to win, someone's gonna have to lose. We're gonna have to make peace with that because like we have these trios titles to take care of, and like us together, like it says on the belt, like 3 make the most magic. Like it's us 3, like we get this done by the strength of our numbers more than like, the sum of our parts. So like Tam is all into that mystical lovey-dovey type stuff, and like she said, like, "Hey, you want to chase your dream here? Then you're more than welcome. If you're gonna fight hard and all that kind of stuff, hop aboard." And Tam's just really good at this babyface shit. She just always is. So yeah.
Yep. But
Ric Flair, my God.
No, Ric Flair,
Yeah, I think that's it though, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, but that's in the show. Also, midweek we're gonna do a preview show for SummerSlam and TakeOver, and also talk about Resurgence from this weekend. So we didn't forget about none of that. We'll get to that later in the week. We're gonna have Tanya on and all that, and we're gonna have a lot. It's gonna be a blast. So,
Will Ospreay is back, hoes, and I hope y'all ready to deal with it.
Yeah,
because a lot of people out here capping.
Yeah, some of the sound bites I heard about that from that promo sound pretty good, hitting on some truth. some truth we might not like, but it's still truth nonetheless, and that's part of the heat. But thanks for listening. Be sure to rate us on whatever app you're listening to this with. Go to Red Circle and drop us off with a donation. Check out ProWrestlingTees.com/SocialSuplex and pick up some official Social Suplex Podcast Network merchandise. Olds on top. Hiroshi Tanahashi. Olds on top.
Yep.
And also listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style. You have the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. You have Gorman Wash's shit. You have the Grave Consequences Podcast. You have 8-Bit Suplex. You have All Things Leading. You have Great Match Generator. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.
Gym sessions and sweaty summer activities are back, which means more funky smells in your clothes because sweat leaves behind bacteria that causes those hard-to-remove odors. Clorox fabric sanitizer products are ready to zap the stink out of fabrics in your home by getting rid of 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria. Eliminate odors in every load or sanitize fabrics between washes with one of our fabric sanitizer products. Search fabric sanitizer at Clorox.com to learn more. When it counts, trust Clorox. Use as directed.
Sports have a way of bringing us all together. And at Sleeper, we developed a fantasy platform designed to make leagues more fun and personal. Sleeper includes an integrated chat and every feature you could want for your NFL, NBA, and even esport leagues. Plus, it's completely free with no ads. See why millions have made Sleeper the fastest-growing fantasy platform. Download Sleeper on the App Store or Google Play today.